told to put on an orange color today, but somehow, well, maybe I flaunted that. But we're looking at the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And joining us to look at that is Leila St. Matthew Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we're talking about this, and this is the beginning of a whole long week looking at violence against women and girls. Perhaps maybe you should bring us to speed on how we got to the stage we are. Why are we talking about eliminating this, and how grave is this problem?
Well, today the UN declared 25th of November as the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And it kicks off a whole 16-day activity which ends on December 10th, which is Human Rights Day, because it is said that violence against women is an infringement on their rights as human beings who have a right to be and not be involved in conflict. So today is the kickoff, the start, and it is declared an Orange Day. That's why we're told to wear everywhere, all over the world it's an Orange Day. So I had to wear orange. Mm-hmm. But I see that the set too is orange. So it's because all over the world, it's not just in Nigeria, the pandemic of violence against women has attained proportions that's very worrisome.
Well, no doubt, because just this morning on the front page of this, some couple of newspapers here, of terrible headline: police arrest Lebanese for defiling underage girls, and it goes beyond rape cases, defilement, and even domestic violence.
Yes, you see, it's violence and abuse. The thing there is that when laws are not in place to curb a supposed criminal activity, people will have a tendency to keep breaking the laws. You understand? It's like I heard when you were talking about kidnapping and everything. If these laws are put in place and they are not allowed to run its course, people will keep doing it. And that's why you open up the papers, you will read about a rape of a minor, a rape of a geriatric person, and it just keeps going on until we take full control of the law. That's what happens.
Well, again, when we talk about how grave or what's the frequency, because you're a coach and you've been talking to a lot of people concerning issues like this and others, perhaps one wonders if we are getting to see a decrease in reports of violence against women and girls, or we are witnessing some kind of increase in such cases.
Well, it's increasing a little bit, because I say it again, because the full import of the law is not being allowed to run its course. And then another reason why it's coming up a lot is because the media now is assisting to report these issues, and people now are not as willing to hide behind the code of silence, because the code of silence is what held people back. A woman will not want to come out and say she's been beaten, she's going through things in the house. She wants to keep quiet, and even if she wants to come out to talk about it, you'll have people telling her, no, don't do that, especially the family.
Why is that so?
It seems like a stigma, as if, she's the one, that something must be wrong with her. She must be doing something wrong. That is why the man is beating her up. And anyway, even if he's doing that, she should be calm. She should, go back and pray. The faith-based institutions will tell them, don't say anything, just go back and pray. And then you discover that a lot of them lose their lives. A lot of them are maimed. A lot of pictures, we have been put out. Some quite gruesome, you understand. And it's because the violators, the perpetrators of this violence, get away with it. You will hear it reported, but when you find out the process, somewhere down the line, justice is compromised.
And the ironic thing here is that sometimes women also inflict such on their own gender, and sometimes cases of women also, well, collaborating with their husbands in inflicting such pains and abuse on their daughters. And you've heard the case or the story of honor killing in other parts of the world.
Well, the thing is this, that we are living in a cracked world. We are living in a cracked society. People are cracked. They have the foundation. A lot of times, these women who exhibit this violent tendencies or don't have empathy or compassion for one another, they have been through some form of abuse, and instead of channeling it positively, it has internalized and it has changed their personality inside, and their ability to feel compassion is not there. So it's a case of, if I've been through it, why won't you go through it? It's like the widow rights in some parts of Nigeria. It's amazing that it is the women who are champions of these widows' rights, and they put them through so much. Even the honor killings, you will see it's the women, because you see, the woman is, I say the woman is the software. She is the one who gets in all kinds of programs, and if the program that she gets in is warped, is abused, is cracked, that is the kind of program she's going to bring out. You know, we hear garbage in, garbage out, computer-wise. The head is like a computer, and so she brings this thing out. So we try to educate the women, and with me being a therapist, when these things happen, you try to go a little bit down and out, and you find out that she's been through a lot, but now she's channeling it negatively. There are some women who have been through and they channel it positively.
It's believed that 1 in 3 women are abused.
Yes.
Now, is it just physical abuse?
Oh, there are different kinds of abuse. There is the psychological abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, and then the emotional abuse, which is the one you can't see. But if the party is very good, he might not have grown up to strike a woman, but he has grown up to use his mouth to deal with her, and he can erode everything that she stands for.
So is it possible that some women go through life without realizing that they are being abused?
They are beginning to realize, yes, some, especially the financial abuse, the sexual abuse, and the emotional abuse, they would know that there is something wrong, because they won't be happy, but they will not really understand that they can actually fight for their rights. So they go through it, and then the families, they don't help as well. They'll just say, you know, just bear it and pray and go ahead with it. So you find women have been in marriages, they have had children. When you sit down to talk to them, they have lived a totally unhappy life. And you know what happens? When a woman is unhappy at home, it's transferred into the children one way or the other, and the children grow up cracked, because where there is no love, a child is not nurtured properly, and he grows up becoming an unfeeling man or an unfeeling woman, and then it causes problems in the marriage too as well.
And that looks like to me like breeding a continuity of the same problem.
Yes, we say, you see, people are just now realizing through the help of the UN and NGOs like myself, we're there on the ground, that domestic violence is not something to be put to one side. You hear people talking about cancer, HIV, AIDS, malaria, but what they don't realize is that domestic violence is generational. It goes from you to the kid, he transfers it, and the repercussions are vast, because a child who is cracked grows up to be a cracked human being. Even if he goes into governance, even if he becomes a leader, his perception of things will be clouded by his internal feelings, and it affects everybody.